love that we just sang, "Glory to thee, O God, glory to thee," instead of "Glory to thy long-suffering, Lord," which is what we've been singing all week. There's been a change now. It's a little obvious that there's been a change. We have something new today. So they go to the tomb. The disciples do. They go there. Mary Magdalene and Mary, and they go. And when they get there, there's an angel there. And the angel descends from heaven, he rolls back the stone, and he says to the women, "Don't be afraid. I know that you seek Jesus, who was crucified. He's not here. He's risen, as he said." So I can now not see without these. Like, I can see all of you perfectly, but I cannot read a thing. And I cannot make the type big enough on my iPhone to read it without glasses. Like, I could get one word a screen, "Hey, Father James," like, I can't actually read without these now. And they're just cheapos, but without them, I cannot see. With this new thing today in the gospel, when the women go to the tomb, and then the disciples, and they see that Jesus, who had been crucified, that he's no longer dead in the grave, that's done. It was like they put on glasses. And then they, see what I did there? It was like they put on glasses, and then when they went back through the Old Testament, which we did a tiny bit today. The Old Testament is 66 books, something like that. Or is that all of the Bible? That's all of the Bible. I'm going to do math right now. 42 books, 44 books. I guess it depends if you're looking at Septuagint or not. It's very long. We did 3 little readings. We had the reading from Genesis about darkness being turned into light by God. That what was dark now was light. That was impossible before God did that. So there was darkness, and then there was light. He will, by the way, create the sun later. So there's darkness, and then there's light. Then we had the reading about Jonah. And Jonah goes, and he's hidden from us. Jonah goes into a fish, a great fish, it says. And he is in the fish. When the disciples, St. Paul, when he comes to Christ, when they come to Christ, it's like they put on glasses. And they went back and they said, "Wait, Jonah was telling us about Jesus. Jonah went into a fish for how long? 3 days. Well, that sounds familiar." They start to look back and go, there was darkness, now there's light. There was Jonah. There were the 3, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. We heard that. They're like, wait, the fiery furnace. They went in. They were thrown in. And we remember the story. There was one other in there with them. The gospel is like being able to understand everything. To understand the gospel, to get Jesus risen from the dead, is to look back over our lives and see all the places he has been. To see every relationship and situation where even if the situation was bad, he was still present somehow. He was there. He's like the other one walking in the furnace with us. We thought we were alone. When we have the gospel, we look back and go, wait, we weren't alone. It turns out, it was like we weren't alone. The gospel becomes for us a way to understand everything. Not only creation and the Old Testament, or some kind of like have a theological conversation, argue with the Presbyterians or something, Well, the Orthodox, we believe this and you believe that, and we know it this way and you think it that way, and whatever. We're not getting into the gospel to have like ammunition or something. It's so we can actually see, that we can see God, that we can make ourselves to be seen. And he sees us, but we We are getting rid of the things that block the vision. You know, we're putting on glasses so to see. And the glasses that we put on are the exact same as Mary Magdalene and Mary, the other Mary that go to the sepulcher early in the morning. They did not have any vision, spiritually speaking, before this. None. Zip. None. But they go there, an angel descends, and he says, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You're seeking someone you thought was dead. He's just not dead anymore. So the tomb now is not what we thought it was. Death now is not what we thought it was. Evil now is not nearly as strong as we thought it was. I mean, this is like glasses. You're going to understand all kinds of things now. You will see differently. And they depart the tomb with fear and great joy. Usually, like we were writing it, we wouldn't put both. We put either they were really, really scared or they were really, really happy. We don't usually have those two together. If we're really fearful with some great fear, we don't usually feel happy about it or joyful about it. But they went with a different kind of fear, not like scared because they were told not to be afraid. The fear they have now is that something different has happened that will change everything for them. They have to rethink their lives. They have to rethink their relationships. They have to rethink their business. They have to rethink how they get up in the morning. They have to rethink it all. They have to redo everything. And they look back over their lives like we're talking about with the Old Testament. And then they look forward. What now will be different? That the Lord is risen from the dead. How then will I do this? The message for us in the morning of Great and Holy Saturday, besides the obvious, that Christ is now everywhere present, filling all things. In the tomb with the body, in the grave for sure. But in Hades, with the soul as God. And on the throne with the Father. He's everywhere present, filling all things. The message outside of that for us, kind of on a personal note, is that we too can sort of wind up taking the gospel off like I take my glasses off and set them down, and then we don't see nearly as well. And we don't understand hardly at all. And we can actually slip back into the way the people who don't have the gospel think. And we can start to see the way they see, blurry-eyed. We put the gospel back on, and we have to then take an account of ourselves. We have to come back to Christ, repenting of our sins, trusting him more, and for everything, and in every little thing, and for whatever the Lord might have of us. But there is a sense that we can take them off and then put them back on. And that putting back on, we should do everything we can to put them back on. We should not let anything stand in our way to put them back on, even embarrassment or whatever it might be. That whatever we can do to put the gospel, to see with the gospel, to put it back on, we have to make that effort. So we're very close now. Even have slid into the new time and this new vision. And this day, Holy and Great Saturday, becomes like a long celebration. And still there's a little more to see. But it's interesting that we have the first proclamation of the resurrection this morning. It's tonight when we're fully aware of all that it means. But it's now we get it. We have seen the light. We've actually seen the light, and the light is Christ. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.